Muted. There you go. You see, I've got to get back into the swing of things. I am so sorry that it's been a while since I have been on screen and you've seen my face. I've been uploading shorts and everything, but you haven't seen me. But hey, I am back with my brand new series, Petrock Meets. Now, if you haven't seen Petrock Asks, which is a video series that I did, there is a playlist on my channel. Go over and check it out because it was so much fun. But this is the first episode. And before I get into it any further, what I need to do is bring on my amazing co-host, and that is Jerimie. Your mark's new either. Jerimie from Jerimie's World. Look, my background's disappeared. What have I done?
My headphones aren't connected.
I'm very rusty. There you go. There's the background. I literally got all flustered, like, oh, what buttons do I press? I'm not sure.
And then my AirPods stopped working, so here we go.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
they're okay now. I fixed them. Don't worry. It's all good.
Good. So it looks like we have quite a few people with us in the chat.
I'll start getting some people up.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. It really does mean a lot to me, especially because I've been kind of AWOL for probably the last year. So,
is it working?
Okay, you give me that. give me your iPad. Sorry, Mini Rock wants to watch the stream on her iPad so that she just doesn't have to listen to me talking. She can
she wants to see the
everybody. Yeah. So she wants to see it all, which is fine.
She gets premium access behind the scenes and on the iPad.
She does. I do. I show her everything. I'm like, what do you think of this?
Of course, my laptop isn't working.
Oh, no way. Right, let's go back to the start. So I see that one. Tiger's Adventures. Now, I do believe this is a member of the BTS committee. So I think it is Mark. So hello to you, Mark. Good to see you here. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, gosh, look. All over
technology.
There you go. Yes.
Oh,
hello, Mark.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. If it is Mark, I'm sure it's Mark.
Page has crashed, so just bear with me.
That's okay, dude. You carry on, it's fine. Alex Four Wheels, that's Greg. Good to see you here, Greg. Now, Greg also has a surprise that I will be telling you about later. Yeah, that's really awesome. So yeah, good to see you, Greg. I'm so glad you're here. And backgrounds, we got Sam. Hey, Sam, how are you doing, dude? It's been a while. It really has been a while. Mantip Mum, hola, how you doing? Good to see you. I was going to put you up then, Jerimie.
Oh.
Lottie's web is here. How are you doing, Lottie? Thanks for joining. Ooh, Amy's web. Hi, peeps. How are you, Amy? I hope you're having had a good day, or having a good day, depends on where you live. Let's have a look. Anybody else? Wow, Victor M. Carrasco. Evening, everyone. Greetings from Mexico. Yes. Thank you for joining us. That's amazing. Impossible invite. How are you doing? How are you? Spider King is here. That's Jay. Hello, Jay. Thank you for being here.
I'm back in. Let's see if this is working now.
You got it?
Where are we on the chat? Let's see.
So we were at the Spider King.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay, let's see. Please work.
Yeah,
there we go. It's working now. Woo.
Inverts with Chaz. How are you, Chaz? It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since we spoke. That's good. I'm glad you're here anyway.
Chaz was at C's yesterday, scooping up all the good deals. Yes, he was.
Now, I couldn't
go to see him as always.
Unfortunately. Yeah, it's always good to see everybody. It really is. Invert Laws is here too.
Let's see. Chat them there. Invert Laws. Peter, how are you, dude? How are you doing?
Yes, look, I said Tiger was Mark.
There we go. Got the names right.
And Kim's with him too. Hey, Kim, how are you doing? Yep.
Yeah, we got,
oh, sorry, I just clicked
we got
it.
Some hellos to Mini Rock.
Yeah, hellos to Mini Rock. Hello to you.
Hi.
Hi.
We've got Jenny from Facebook coming to say hi. Hello, Jenny. How are you?
Oh, hi, Jenny. How are you? yeah, so we are streaming direct into Facebook as well. So if you're watching from Facebook, hello guys over on the Facebook page. It's good to see you. Yeah, Mrs. Burgrounds. Hello Danielle. How you doing?
Hey, Danielle.
That's awesome. So yeah, loads and loads of people. Anyway, so we can't forget this one person. I've just seen. It moves too quick. There you go. Unseen Universe. Hey Mitch, how are you?
Oh, Mitch is
Still
here.
making his way back
Hello.
home from seas. Oh my gosh. He had a breakdown, didn't he? Oh, and I
Yeah,
hope that your
whole
journey
nightmare.
is easy. I really do hope it's easy.
Same
Right, so
here.
before we bring on the main guests of this stream, I just want to do a quick shout out to my channel members because you guys have stuck with me, even though I haven't had much content that I've been uploading. So I just want to give a huge, huge thank you to all of them. And that is Craig Turner, you're awesome dude. Ian Vertebrates, yay! We've got Bobby's Critty Cave, Phil Trevis, the Spider King, who's in the chat, Keeper Cards, Tarantula Collective, Bex Brown, Princess Sophie Pink, JG's Cats and Things, Linus Stensgaard, Michigan Arachnids and Spiders. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with me. Honestly, your generosity and your help and support for my channel has been out of this world, and I can't thank you enough for sticking around, because I wouldn't have blamed any of you for just disappearing. Like, you know, none of you have to be a channel member, but the fact that you've just stayed with me means an awful lot to me. It really does. So thank you so much. Woo! Right. So do you think we're ready to get our guests on? So
I
we
think
do
so.
have with us the one and only Andrew Smith. Yay!
Hey, here he is.
Here he is. And his right hand man, we have Guy Tansley with us too. How are you guys? How are you doing?
Busy bees at the moment.
Busy bees at the moment. Is that all because of your new DVD?
We have an awful lot of DVDs to post, right? And they're now running into a couple of hundreds going out the door. But I've got a real problem. That's because obviously overseas postage is postal service is completely corrupt. It seems Royal Mail was hacked, and we haven't been able to send any parcels overseas.
Oh,
so those
gosh.
people
no.
who are overseas, the reason you're still waiting for your DVDs is because they're by my front door in carrier bags waiting to be posted, and we can't post them until they've sorted this problem out.
That's
It's
crazy.
supposedly an unfriendly foreign power has hacked our postal service. Right?
Careful.
Why would that be? Right?
But that's such a shame, though, for everybody that's waiting for it, because, yeah, I have watched it, guys. I have. And it's absolutely fantastic. It really is. And we're going to do an exclusive and show you a few, I think, you know, a couple of minutes of each of the DVDs within this stream. So that's going to be amazing. But yeah, me and Jerimie watched it. We was messaging each other like, "Oh my god!" Yeah. So yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And so obviously we have a few questions for you to do with the DVD. Now I'm going to throw in the first one because you know, in the fashion of Petrock asks, let's go with this question, which is for you, Andy. I just want to know, how good was that coffee?
Actually, it wasn't bad. It's probably one of the best coffees in the whole of India. Right? Usually,
Really?
you end up being served Nescafe. Okay, so yeah, we're really kind of stylish about coffee over here, right, and in the States and in Europe. So, but it wasn't a bad one. And that
It was
the
all right.
last cafe. It was the last bungalow left in that region. But they've bulldozed everything. It's a bit like Kuala Lumpur or Singapore. Anything old is demolished, right, and kind of it's replaced with brand new buildings.
Brand new buildings.
Also
yeah.
we it was a bit of commando filming on that one, wasn't it? As
Oh, yeah.
always. We
I've
never
forgotten
really
that.
asked permission, so I think that coffee lasted about 3 hours.
Yeah, before we were thrown out, right?
Secretly film before we got asked to leave.
It looked like you liked it anyway, and it looked like it was well deserved for you to have that coffee. But yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I wonder what that coffee tastes like.
as Guy said, we specialise in commando filming. Okay, so we come up with the most amazing scenes, and people go, "How could you afford to do that?" And basically, we just walked in and did it until we're
way.
thrown out.
Until they went, get out.
Yeah.
So was it relatively easy to be filming there? Like, what was it like? Like, did you get attention drawn to you because you've got your camera equipment and all of that, or was it they quite friendly and allowed you just to film?
Yeah, I mean, Guy, what do you think?
Yeah, most of the time we'll get quizzical looks off local people, obviously. Setting up there, we've got Andy walking around like this, framing up shots.
Making sure it fits in the
with
screen.
his little director's chair that he carries everywhere with him.
Yeah, I mean, Guy's he's the cameraman. Yeah. I'm just concentrating on one, remembering my dialogue, and two, right, kind of just working out what we're actually doing. But Guy's rigging it all up the cameras, so he's the one that's more observant of what's going on around us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we just got to make sure there's no police in the background or army bases. And Andy always wants to film the police in the army. And obviously you can't do that in certain areas. Well, anywhere really. It's frowned upon.
No. We did it in Mexico, though.
Sorry?
Sneakily.
Well, yeah.
So you say quite a lot in the DVD about like filming and going out at night and how dangerous it can be. Now, like, how did that make you feel? Like, were you nervous? Were you worried, or did you feel like your guides had kind of got you and they knew what was going on? And
guides? What's a guide?
Well, you had your guides. Surely they were there. I saw them.
Well,
you did.
Times right. Yeah, I mean, the nighttime footage was generally just us. Right.
No guides really, and the people you see in the film who we call the guides or the helpers were people who just were in the village and seen us and started following us around, finding out what we're doing, and then offering to help. So we don't pre-plan any guides really.
No, so they were just people that volunteered almost.
Yeah.
There was only the day with the Adivasi tribals that we hired to take us up beyond. There was a certain hillside we just couldn't have accessed by ourselves. We couldn't have actually found the trails to go into it, and we used Adivasi guides. But that was it. It was one day, wasn't it? I think it was 2 days, and we didn't film at night with them. Right. I mean, the big problem with filming at night is basically it's pitch black. You've got often loose shell on the hillside. They're really steep hillsides, loose rock, loose shell, and you can slip and roll down a hillside and break your leg. Right. I mean, it's bad enough during the day. Right, pitch black. Like we're really aware of it. I mean, you're not fearful. You just basically it's health and safety. You're thinking about, carrying heavy equipment, all the camera equipment up in steep hillsides. Your feet are sliding out during the daytime, sliding out from under you. Right, so yeah, we take a chance every so often. But we reduce the odds. I mean,
If you think about it too much, you'd never do anything.
No, you probably wouldn't. If you do that, what if? Don't think about the what if.
Let's get straight in there.
Just get straight in there.
The first thing.
In Mexico, we were driving around, cartel tourism. You're not going to worry about it. You just do it. Otherwise, as I said, we'd never ever do anything.
You wouldn't.
That first Metallica site was the first thing we crossed was a huge trench which they'd built around the village, and we were like, "What's this trench for?" And they said, "Well, it's an elephant trench to stop the elephants coming from the forest, which we were going into at night, getting into the village."
Oh my goodness! But you were actually approaching them.
Trench, and up the other side.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But I'm just going to quickly interrupt and say hello to Rocky Mountain Spider Freaks. How are you guys? I'm so glad to see you here. And to also, we're going to say thank you to Amy's Web for becoming a channel member. And I have something special that I can play you, Amy. Here we go. Yay! Thank you so much, Amy. And you will need to join my dedicated members only Facebook group, which is Pet Rockers. So search that and go to join and I'll approve you. And that is where you'll get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. Yay! Thank you very much for joining and being a member. That's absolutely fantastic. We also have Mr. Grindler's Creatures here. Hey, Jaden, how are you doing, dude? Awesome stuff. Right, Jerimie, do you want to go with a question?
I was just going to mention that my laptop's restarting right now because it's been
don't
a
worry.
nightmare. I'm so
Don't
sorry.
worry. No, it's
But
fine.
yeah, I was going to mention. So we talked about like the guides technically not really existing. So like when you guys were in the first one, you entering the the more how would you guys describe like protected areas? Like what did you mention in the like where you couldn't cut down the trees and stuff like that? How did you find like getting access in there? Did you have to ask like any local like government figures, or were you just able to waltz on in
Did you
unannounced?
just sneak
We
in?
walked on in, right? We specialise in commando filming, which essentially, right, is we turn up, park the car, right, get our gear on, and then hike up into the hills.
Did we film in any national parks in India? I don't think we did we?
No, we didn't. We avoid them like the plague, basically. But they tend to be tiger reserves. They tend to be the really good ones. I mean, they have these areas where there's no fencing. There may be a sign stuck up and there's no rangers. But the proper national parks, they're usually tiger reserves. And but we don't, to put it bluntly, none of our spiders in the south, unless you went up to Coimbatore with, say, striata, fitted into those reserves. I mean, most of our materials in just basically scrubland, abandoned secondary forests for the most part.
No way. That's crazy. I mean, I just look at you in the the footage that you've got, and I see you in the thick of everything, and I just think I would love to be there, but I think I wouldn't, perhaps hold my nerve as much as or as well as you guys do, should I say?
I feel like I'd be the complete opposite, just diving straight in, like lifting all kinds of rocks.
That's it. It's that old saying. Yeah, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, it's a really it's a very experienced team. I mean, the truth is, right, is that the hardcore group itself and other people like Paul Carpenter, others that have been part of our film projects over the years. These are, for Brits, right, the most travelled Brits, I suppose, right, in the hobby. I mean, these guys have been doing it for 20 years plus.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ben's joined us, Ben Vignaud, right, and from France. And Ben, again, is a highly experienced, right, field worker. We don't use anybody who, unless they've done years and we know their history in the field. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's physically hard work, and it's stressful in the sense of the heat, the bugs and mosquitoes, right? You're being hit all the time. And filming at night, you're being continuously hit by mosquitoes. I mean, I came back from India with dengue, right? So that was, I thought it was COVID. Guy and me are still debating this one, right? But I had splitting headaches and all the symptoms were of dengue. When we did talking to all the other collectors over the last 20 years, all of them came back with dengue. From
No way. No way. What was it like having that? I mean, I don't even think I've heard of that illness.
It's COVID with attitude.
Okay, right? It's that bad then.
It's that bad. You have your eyes feel like they're sort of boiling in your brain. It's headaches, and I thought this is just COVID. We actually thought we had a really early version of COVID because we came back just as COVID basically hit Europe. And I thought, God, we're experiencing COVID, but in reality, no, it was dengue.
That's crazy. And did it take you a while to get over it, or was it something you just
about 2 or 3 weeks, right? I mean, you just
get on with it.
You can get on with it. There's no cure for it. Just basically have to ride it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that you got that for doing what you have done, I'm going to thank you. Thank you for that, because that's not an easy thing to come home with. That's not exactly what you expect to be your prize, if you like, for what you've done. So how long did it take from beginning to end? So from the start of you thinking about the documentary and then to publishing to today, how long did that actually take for you to do?
20 years.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine you probably thought it a long time ago.
I don't think people realise that we actually, we obviously appear to be just hitting the country, but actually we've done a reconnaissance. There's very few of these film projects that me and Guy or Paul Carpenter have not actually done a field trip as a reconnaissance. We know exactly where the spiders are. We know exactly where we're going, right? And so we've kind of pre-planned it, right? Sometimes we kind of come a cropper in the sense of what should be a wonderful hillside up with amazing tarantulas we discover has been bulldozed and they're not there anymore. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we pre-plan it. And research-wise, I suppose I've been lecturing and at the BTS lectures for years. I mean, anybody who's attended every BTS lecture would go, God, Andy did that lecture about 15 years ago. It's now got a century. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it makes sense that it, you know, that it was something, and you've probably got so many more things that you want to go.
Oh, we got loads of projects.
Yeah, I know. It's so exciting. I'm not going to dig. I would. I'd like to, but I'm not going to dig and find out what, because we don't want no spoilers. No spoilers.
No. Well, we can tell you the next one coming, in the sense of we'll obviously be putting a Kickstarter together later on, and for finishing it. But we've actually done the footage. We've filmed a lot of the footage. We haven't done any of the linking footage, but the actual field footage is now in the can, and that, of course, is going to be Theraphosa, Ephebopus, and Avicularium.
Yeah. Well, that's like that's going to be just. That blows my mind. It just blows my mind anyway.
Well. Right. Let's talk to Guy, because Guy's the cameraman, right? He's the one that's organises the kind of all the footage. As Guy says, I'm the guy that walks around doing this, right? You know, he's completely ignores me.
Does he just go, move out the way? I'll do it.
Yeah, get out of the way, right? Yeah, well, usually, right, he's kind of cut. You've said that wrong, right? Yeah. Take 43.
Do it again.
I think one of the longest things is going through all the footage, because it's not just taking one take of every piece of the camera. It can take like 15, 16 goes, as you well know if you edit videos. So luckily I don't have to do that bit. Andy has to sit through and look through every single bit of footage that we've taken and choose the best one, and then decide which bit of that section to cut out and to add in. My job's quite easy. Editing's quite easy. Andy does all the hard work, and not to mention all the sourcing of the historical stuff, the information for starters, and all the images to go along with it.
Yeah, I must say the historical stuff that you presented in this DVD of Carter, it was just astonishing. Like the photographs and everything that you had, I was just like, this is real history here. And yeah, I was just completely swarmed into it, like binging it. I was just sitting there. I was even watching it whilst I was washing up.
I think you've got to watch it like 2 or 3 times to actually.
Yes, I've definitely got to watch it again.
It's so full of information. Even I've watched it. Me and Andy have watched it like countless times, too many times, because every time we do an edit, we've got to watch it again, and then when it goes off to get the masters done for the DVD, you've got to check the file again. So
yeah,
I took on the role of doing the Pelanobius one because Andy was away, so I had to watch that about 40 times. But this time I gave it to Andy for this one because I thought I'm not.
He got his own back, right?
And he had to watch the whole thing. Every time we got a new set of files from the DVD place, you'd have to go through it all because there could be a little glitch in the file.
Yeah.
And it's like proofing everything.
Yeah, just
that's why it takes so long. And of course, we had COVID, didn't we? We came back. Was it the end? It was the end of 19, wasn't it? We came back 2019.
Yeah.
And COVID started, and then Andy went off on a tangent, didn't he? And did Pelanobius, so it's been like 3 years, isn't it? Really, for it to come out.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculously long when you think about it. But definitely the next one, should be out within a year. I would say.
Oh, that's good to know. That's really good to know. Yeah. So how long were you actually in India for when you was doing your filming?
We generally film for 1 month. We were filming literally up to maybe 2 days before we flew out. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it was very to the very last minute. Right? Yeah. I mean, the days where I think maybe 15 years ago, we'd always try and spend a couple of days on the beach having cold beers and a lobster before flying home.
You've got to.
The last at least 3 field trips, we've worked to the very last minute and then hit the plane, right? Because we were filming to the very last second.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you was making the most of the time that you had, put it that way.
Don't forget, we actually shoot 2 documentaries piggyback. And our budgets are tiny. If we were an open production company, we'd be shooting just 1 documentary. We're shooting 2 documentaries piggyback, and the main one's usually 2 hours plus.
Yeah.
Right. So you get a big meaty documentary, and then there's usually an extra documentary that's usually about an hour. Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of which is the bonus feature on the if you want the B side of the documentary. Although I gather this time round the Hannah Masuka documentary is turning out to be much more important than we thought it actually was going to be. So the
Really?
B side may actually become the main top hit 10 sort of thing,
No way. So it's more popular. But you've had more people kind of give you feedback on it, or
I think it's more controversial, isn't it? It's when we put it together, it's telling the story of what could have been. But I think people are realizing that this is going to be the first pokie to probably become extinct. And I think a lot of people are going to really thinking about this now.
Yeah, which is such a shame if that happens, because it's such a beautiful species. Like the last thing that we'd want is for it to disappear. That would be such a shame. It really would. It really would. And talking about species, this is to both of you. So in the I'm not going to give away exactly what it is, because somebody that's not watched it, but tell me how you felt at this moment when you found a certain species. This moment right here. Yes, look at the expressions on your faces. I just need to know exactly how you felt right then. Because obviously Guy's like, yeah.
Ask Guy, because he found it. That was his spider, right? Basically, right. I mean, we were gobsmacked. Okay.
Yeah, because especially you rely on Andy's research, and obviously the first part, if you listen to the story, it's all on regardless, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we were searching for in that area, and as far as we were concerned, we were 200 kilometers south of where Metallica was supposedly has its tiny little area where you can only find it.
Yeah.
So me, Stuart, Andy spending hours looking through lots of holes in trees, and then I shone my torch into this little crevice, as you'll see, and I seen the skin, and it was bright blue, and I was just, wow.
Well, your face says it all.
Well, because it basically from that point it had messed up Andy's whole, like the whole premise of the whole story.
You just
Because
got
I
it
meant
all.
to find Regardless and then move on to Formosa and then Metallica, and now all of a sudden, right at the start, we found Metallica.
Yeah, you just threw a spanner
in an
the
area
works.
200 kilometers where we didn't even know it existed at the time.
Yeah.
So basically, we've extended the range of Metallica from that little, because I've heard so many people over the years say Metallica is highly endangered because it only lives in one little area in a forest in the northern part of that mountain range, but we found it all the way down the south of the mountain range. So chances are it's all the way through that at least 200 kilometer mountain range.
Yeah.
It's just nobody's looking for it, and nobody's finding it. So that's really good news that we found it 200 kilometers away from that small pocket.
Yeah, that is really good.
If you watch the DVD, you realize that now that's so well known, that northern pocket on that mountain range, it's virtually impossible to find anything else there now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's been there and collected it.
That's it. And so it's no more in that area.
And we were horrified to discover, and when we scoured that hillside, it's critically endangered in that area.
That part,
probably was the type, one of the type areas, right?
Yeah.
But as Guy said, we've the range is now considerably more extensive than we first thought. It's not, and there are areas along the eastern Ghats along there that are protected zones. So the spider must be in those areas, right? But it's fascinating how fragmentary these. We tend to think of colonies, but Ray Gabriel came up with the idea of clusters. You end up with clusters that are probably broken up by human agriculture over the years. Right, there would have been once upon a time, go back far enough in time, the material would have simply spread down a forested hillside, which would have been the Eastern Ghats. But of course, with 2,000 years of agriculture, and obviously the railways cutting down trees as well to fire the steam trains, you end up with fragmented areas of forest. And in those fragmented areas of forest, either the species material either survives, or if the area is too small, which will be discovered on numerous occasions, it simply peters out. It has to be a big enough area, right, without being continuously pestered by firewood collectors.
I know, and because I mean, obviously, that's the big issue. There is the collection of firewood, isn't it? Because it's something that the local people need, but at the same time, it's destroying the habitat where these tarantulas are naturally living, which is a real shame. It really is, isn't it? But yeah, it's a tricky situation.
It is, right, because India's population is still expanding. China's is now stalled, but India's hasn't. And it's meant that a lot of these areas are being cleared for agriculture, and in turn, you end up with smaller areas of forest. And then in turn, people are scouring these forests for basically firewood. I mean, I've always said that if you wanted to save the planet, the most important thing would be to do for the Western world is to invest in some kind of solar cooker, something where basically we could mass produce it. Forget about money being given to other countries, is that you present hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of these things manufactured in the West, which are given to third world countries, that somebody can come back from the fields, and that it's been sitting there with maybe solar, that's probably how it's going to have to be, right? And it's got a battery, and it basically, right, then you can cook your food on that thing. And maybe even fire up your phone, and possibly, if in cold period, even be used as a heater. Something, I'm sure, you can't believe that Western science can't develop a really rugged, basic little thing that would be given away by the million to third world countries.
Yeah, and you would think that is, an easy possibility, but it just doesn't seem to come to fruition, does it? No, which is a shame, isn't it?
Ironically, right?
Yes, yeah, of course it would. Of course it would. So, so what are you at the lectures then this March, giving a presentation?
Oh, the lectures always.
I know. Right. I know you're always there, but are you doing a presentation again?
Yeah, you have to talk to Mark. I think they've got plans they're going to screen that Hanna-Barbera Sumica documentary, which is only on the DVD. We're not going to release it as a download, probably to summer. Right, so it's only available on the DVD for the Hanna-Barbera Sumica for the next probably, say, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, the Kickstarter's got a version of it because they helped us out. So the Kickstarters have got a digital version of it.
Yeah.
So, but at the moment, that second documentary is only available on the DVD.
Yes, there you go, guys. So you want it. If you want this, Poecilotheria, you're going to kill me for this. There you go. He says it perfectly, except for when he messes it up during the DVD.
Yes, but yeah, I messed it up as well. I mean, guys, there was 3 takes we did in a church. And when I got back to the UK, and each 3 takes, I pronounced it incorrectly.
3 different ways of saying it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, so anyway, if you want to get your hands on this exclusive bonus documentary, you're going to need to go and buy the DVD. So Jerimie's going to whack
at the BTS lecture. It's going to be premiered at the BTS lecture.
BTS lecture. So yes, guys, you've got to get over and go to that as well. I will be there, of course. Jerimie, are you going to go to stream it? Aren't you? I think.
But I will. Hopefully, we'll do. Yes. I'm trying to. My laptop is just dying today, isn't it? Of course it has to die today.
It's just not working for you today.
It's practically just frozen today now. It's just...
Sack it off.
I'm so sorry.
Sack it off.
I'm so sorry.
Stick it in the bin.
Honest, I'm going to after this. It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not good when technology lets you down. Have you had that? Your technology letting you down whilst you're, out on your trips?
I've got Guy.
Doesn't have to worry about it. He just does the talking.
He just goes here.
Not mention the drone.
That's your problem.
No, you got to say. No, you can't say that and not mention it. What happened with the drone?
Well, you'll notice in the documentary there's absolutely no drone footage, is there?
No, there
I think
isn't, is there?
that tells you everything you
Now
need to
that you
know.
mention it,
That's such a shame, actually. But so what happened? Was it just not filming, or was the drone not working, or did you lose it?
We just didn't invest in a decent one.
Oh, okay.
Here I was thinking it was going to be like a whole no-fly zone and gets confiscated. Like,
well, there was a risk of that. The risk is because it's quite, the risk is if you spend a fortune on a drone and then it gets taken off you in the airport, you've lost a really expensive drone. So we did take a cheaper one to combat that fact, but then this drone just went up and then it just drifted off into the distance without being, and you would just stand and look at it, and then you'd watch Stuart just run off into the bushes to try and catch it.
I'm coming!
Yeah. So we retrieved it, but it was just hilarious looking back at it.
The moment the wind rose up, and we discovered that if it suddenly started getting windy, we suddenly realised it was about to rain within the next 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So, and for some reason or another, it was down there because obviously it was on the coast. It was really windy, so our drone just took off in all directions at every opportunity.
Not in the direction you wanted.
No.
Yeah.
But you know the coat that you had on when it was raining that covers all of the equipment.
Ponchos
on the poncho.
It's very fetching.
Yeah.
It really looked good on you. I was like, do you know what? I need one of those. When we go out to the forests and it's raining and I don't get wet. But yeah. So we do have some stuff to give away. So what shall we do first? Now, I don't mind, but you guys have very kindly given up one of the DVDs as a giveaway. This is exciting stuff. So I think we should go with that. Should we go with the DVD first?
Yeah.
Hands up, chat. Do you want to do the giveaway for this amazing DVD, which you will not regret having or buying or downloading, however you're going to watch it, because it's absolutely fantastic. It really, really is. You guys have done an amazing job in putting it all together, everything that you've done to do this. So from me, just a huge thank you for just putting it all together, because without this, we wouldn't know, everything that you guys are experiencing. So it's awesome.
And it's nice to have like a species specific invertebrate based documentary, because like typically you'll see with like invertebrate documentaries, you'll have a tarantula section which is like maybe 10-15 minutes, and the footage is of a captive tarantula with a background set up to make it look naturalistic, like it's in the forest. But to see them actually in the wild, and like even if we're not there, we're experiencing it through you, and it's something that's just it's surreal to watch. Just I was watching it just on eating lunch. I'm just saying, it's like I just forgot to eat. By the time I got to my lunch, it was all cold because I'm just sitting there. Like I just didn't want to like look down for a second, because I just wanted to keep watching it, because it's so fascinating just seeing them in the wild, just right next to you.
It is, it is, and then to see them come out of where they're dwelling, and it's just like, oh my God, the colorations, just all of it. It's just absolutely stunning, and just seeing them in their natural habitat. There's nothing better than that, is there really? I mean, come on, you can't beat it.
I mean, I often try and stick lots of extra footage in of other insects, but Andy doesn't.
No, you did. You got some beetles in there though, didn't you? That you did. They were pretty cool as well. The beetles.
If I had my way, it would be 6 hours long. Because there'd be praying mantis, there'd be stick insects, there'd be.
You'd have it all, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously.
When we're doing the reconnaissance, right? I mean, obviously, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years before the actual documentary is made, there'll be a reconnaissance. So it's a slightly different team. It would be Paul, and a lot of them are passionate about their beetles. And I'd be going in whatever the habitat was, and I'd be scouring for tarantulas. And I'd turn around and they'd all be grouped around something. You see, they found one. And I'd march over, right, and there'll be a bloody beetle. So there's a hand sticking out, right, and a beetle on it. You go, get off, right, concentrate on the sliders, right, Like,
I can just picture you just picking one of them, just going, guys, just throwing it back into the forest. Like, come on,
exactly, right. Some beetle waving a little antenna at them and attracting them, right,
Oh my goodness, that's too funny. I could just imagine Guy's little wobbly lip, like.
No, that's why we don't tell them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just do this,
I
like-
now discover footage. I'm going through this footage and think, beetles, right? And they've obviously been busily filming these beetles, right? Which I knew nothing about whatsoever. So they now
Although,
keep it
you've got to admit, though, domino beetles in the natural habitat as well. That was one of my
yeah.
bucket list ones.
Beautiful. Seeing them all
Amazing to
clustered
see
up
domino
together
beetles,
was crazy.
which you
And
can't
makes
get.
Especially
it
where you
a very
found them.
important part of the documentary. Right, very important. Right, I wrote it.
Amazing things.
Yeah.
I could just see Guy just like looking behind his shoulder, see if you're looking at him. It's just like, just quick.
No, that was another revelation for us because we'd always kept domino beetles like
Terrestrially.
blue death fin beetles
Mm.
communally in sort of desert setups, bone
Yeah.
dry, and just and we found out that they live in trees in really humid holes. The complete opposite to what we've been keeping them for like 20, 30 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And like
So,
that
but now-
behavior's also got like a question I came up with. It's like seeing the pokies in the wild and how we're keeping them in captivity. Do you think like is there any influence that we should be trying to replicate in the hobby, or do you think like the way we're caring for them now is practically on point of how they would be living in the wild? I know it's not 100% can be replicated, but trying to recreate that naturalistic like environment for them as best we can is something we should strive for as hobbyists. And I feel like
No, I think we're doing all right really with them. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's just the right temperature, the right humidity, in a decent place to hide in a tube of cork bark, and they're well established in captivity now, aren't they? Most of them anyway.
Yeah.
So we've got it pretty sussed.
Yeah.
But the things like the beetles, like nobody really did any research on those. So, but spider wise, I think we're doing all right.
Yeah.
The same sort of setup.
I mean,
really.
Obviously, like as well, for if I go back from when I was kind of first keeping certain species, I was keeping them totally different to how I'm keeping them now. And obviously, I lost them back then, but that's why, because the advice that was being given out back then, now we know actually don't do it that way. They survive better doing it this way. Yeah. So we learn as we go along, don't we?
The thing we realise quite a lot is that these spiders don't really stay in the same holes for long.
Yeah.
You'll find them. You'll be walking through the forest, just shining a torch in a tiny little crevice, which the spider's just got itself into, and there's no silk, and it's like midday when you find it.
Yeah.
And it's not living in that hole. It's just passing through.
Just passing through. Just taking
So
a pit stop.
the only they'll settle down to molt, I think, and then obviously to lay eggs. But after that, I think they're really nomadic.
That's crazy.
Especially
So the only thing you could do is just give each one you've got a tank the size of your room.
Yeah.
50 bits of cork bark in it, and just let them wander.
Just let them go for it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we found that
I
with
would love that.
Poecilotheria when we were filming in Suriname right before Christmas. Right, it's amazing how many times we just found a retreat, a beautiful silk sock, and just a molt spider gone. Right, and
or even inside a building. You'd look across the ceiling in an abandoned building, there'd be a huge silk sock with the skin at the end and no spider.
No
It obviously
spider.
just went up there, span a tube for a couple of days, shed its skin, and then left.
Yeah, just a place to get changed. Just a changing room, really. You know.
There was a
Didn't want no
toilet
more
actually,
than
like, so there might be something in that. Next to
Oh,
an empty pool.
maybe with Hanma Subagala, you've got these wonderful big tamarind trees, and 20 years ago we found that each tree had maybe 4, 5, 6 specimens. That was less so this visit, unfortunately. But these huge trees, like oak trees, each branch would have a hole. There'd be numerous holes throughout these trees, and then there'd be a number of spiders in each tree.
Yeah, at night time you'd shine your torch across the big tree and you'd see like 5 or 6 pairs of legs just sticking out of the holes. The big adult females, and it's just an amazing experience.
Honestly,
these things are just part of like the whale sort of thing. You know, people are living next to them, and they're not even bothered by them.
For you guys to experience that, you know, that's just, it's a dream come true for probably any tarantula keeper, just to see the spiders in their wild, you know, habitat, living life as they should. You know, it's just incredible. And then, like we've just said and just touched on, for you to then do this and share that whole experience with all of us is just second to none. It really, really is. So let's get on to giving one of these away, shall we? So what I want the guys in the chat to do, if you can see that, can you see that on screen? You should be able to. Did it come up? I don't know if it's sharing it. No, there it is. There you go. So you need to put hashtag Poecilotheria in the comments. Make sure you spell it correctly. I'm sure I have, I hope. If you do it twice, you're not going to get entered twice. So you just want to add it just that once. And then StreamYard, because StreamYard's amazing, will actually do this for me. So it'll tell me how many entrants have come on board, and then we'll just spin it and it will pick a winner for us. So we've got 2 people so far. Come on, guys. Remember, it's your chance to win one of these, courtesy of Guy and Andy, which is just fantastic. 2 DVDs, but it's actually 3 documentaries. Well, 2 parts of 1 documentary, and then there's a bonus documentary. It's definitely a good nighttime watch. Definitely. Good night, baby. Love you.
Love you, Dad.
Bedtime here for certain people. So we got 8 people. Is that 8? I can't see. That's really small on my screen. No, wait. Yeah, 8. Come on, there's more of you. There's more of 8 people here. Oh, cool. So it's telling me there's 24 people here. And if you're over on Facebook, you can still enter too. I'm sure you can. Arranging Peanuts will already be getting it. Good luck to you all. That's from Buggrounds. No problem, Sam. Thank you very much. Graham went ahead and put a squiggle line. I don't know what that actually is, but it's not that. You need to do a hashtag. And Mark says that he's already got it. Yes, and didn't Mark have a signed one? I might add. I'm sure that's what I saw. Yeah, his was signed, wasn't it?
There are people who are sorting out signing the lectures. Probably they'll bring them along to be signed.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll bring mine along then. Mine was all sealed. It was all nice and sealed. I only opened it today. Yes, I know why, Greg. I know why. Right, so what have we got now? How many people now? Let's pop over. So this is 9 people. Come on, guys. It's more. They're all shy. That's right. No idea what's going on. But Inverts at Heart, we are here today with none other than Andrew Smith and Guy Tansley from lovetarantulas.com to discuss their new DVD. And this right here, which you've already entered, is the giveaway for one of the DVDs. Perfect. Right, so got some more have come. Yay! Yeah, I never know how long to leave it until they just go, right, that's it, no more. I'm just gonna draw it now.
Yes,
What does Mark say? I did. It's not worth as much as a blank one. Is that true? Have you just devalued Mark's copy, Andy? Is that what you've done? Devalued it.
It's been an ongoing joke for years, right? The moment I sign anything, right, it's devalued.
At the last BCS show, I was behind the table with Stuart, and I was looking at your kind of, I can't remember which one it was now, forgive me, but it's an old book that you did, and you'd signed it, and he said to me, yeah, it's not worth that much no more, because he signed it. And I was like, really? I'm so
I do it on
gullible.
purpose now. I just automatically sign everything, right? No, it really upsets Mark. Right? Put my signature on everything he does. Right?
I love it. I love it. Right, so we've got 14 people that have entered, which could potentially mean people are just watching on telly, don't have you know, an access, or it could be that I'm also logged in, so I'm one one person. I'm very good with these contraptions. Oh, Graham, have you done it though? Come on, Graham. We can't have you miss. You have done it, yes. So you have entered. That's awesome stuff. Right. Let's go. So 14 entries, and I'm going to spin it in 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Du-du-du-du. Who's the winner? Ba, 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 ba.
What the? It's like a drum.
Amy's
Oh,
won!
Amy's won. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Amy. So if you want to send me your address, I'll pass it over to Guy or Andy, and then they will sort out the DVD for you. But don't worry, guys, because we have had a last minute donation from Greg at 8 Legs and 4 Wheels, who's also going to be giving away one of these because he happens to have 2. I'll let him explain in the chat how that happened, but he's going to give one of them away. So thank you so much to you, Greg, for that, because yeah, that's just amazing. But before we go on to any more giveaways, shall we play some of the part 1 of the DVD?
Oh yeah, let's go. Should we do it?
Yeah, shall we do it? How much shall we play? You guys tell me.
Quarter.
No, not quarter. That would be like an hour.
2 hours.
Play the whole thing. Why not?
Yeah.
I'd quite happily, but no. Shall we just do the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah, 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes? Should we do 5
Sounds
minutes?
good.
Yeah, 5 is probably
minutes.
best. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So this is first 5 minutes of part 1 of Poecilotheria HRP Carter's Great Indian Railway Spiders. Right, where are you now? No, it's not that one. It's this one.
Don't we get it wrong?
No, I don't want to get it wrong.
Do part 2 for part 1.
Let's not go ahead.
Like so many other tarantula stories, the search for Metallica doesn't begin in an acacia carpeted hillside or a forest glade. It's here in the city of Chennai, which 150 years ago was known as Madras. Here, in 1858, on this very beach, a 24-year-old Irish railway engineer named H.R.P. Carter came ashore on a rolling sea of surf in what was called a Masula boat. Now, a Masula boat wasn't a fishing vessel such as this. Imagine a flat-bottomed, high-sided vessel with 10 oarsmen which plied its trade between the shore and waiting steamships anchored out there half a mile offshore. It would have ferried passengers between those ships and this beach, passengers and their luggage and cargo. So, what do we actually know of this young man who, on the 7th of December 1858, would have been standing braced on the rolling deck of the British steamship Nemesis, looking out onto the sand dunes of the Coromandel coastline and probably wondering what on earth the future held in store for him. He would have been very aware in 1858 that life expectancy in India for those young engineers, traders and civil servants was often no longer than 2 monsoons, and that many were forced to leave the country early due to ill health. It had also been very aware that the year before, northern India had been torn apart by mutiny among Indian sepoys in the northern military cantonments, which had created deep ethnic tensions and much bloodshed. But where some men died, other men thrived, and this young man would not only rise in his chosen profession to become the senior engineer of the Madras Railway Company, but he was also responsible for directly instigating the collection of a large number of the historical Indian species that make up Reginald Pocock's classic 1899 Poecilotheria paper, which include some of the most iconic tarantulas in the world. Poecilotheria regalis, Poecilotheria formosa, and Poecilotheria metallica. Indeed, without Carter's endeavours, it is highly likely there would have been no 1899 paper and no live Poecilotheria spider at London Zoo before one was eventually acquired in the 1970s. Indeed, I would surmise that without Carter, it is highly unlikely that these spiders would have actually been described before 1930, when the British naturalist and arachnologist Dr. Frederick Graveley became superintendent of the Madras Museum and began working on a programme of physically collecting Indian spider fauna. That is, of course, if Graveley actually managed to find these elusive spiders. And I can assure you, Poecilotheria spiders are not easy to find. Henry Robert Paisley Carter was born in Waterford, Ireland on the 19th of November 1833 to a Sampson and Mary Carter. On leaving school, he was articled in 1847 to a Mr. Charles Tarrant, an engineer in Kilkenny, and at the age of 18 held the post of Clerk of Works during the building of the Ellingford Workhouse. He then seems to have shifted from civil engineering to railway construction, and in 1857 became assistant engineer to a Mr. W.R. Le Fanu, who was in charge of the construction of the Bagnallstown and Wexford Railway line. As an aside, Le Fanu, in his memoir 70 Years of Irish Life, describes his passion for shooting snipe with a smoothbore flint rifle, which Carter in India was to later excel. Thus we may surmise that Carter was introduced to this sport as a young man by Le Fanu. I think we can also presume that when the Bagnallstown railway line ran into financial difficulties in 1858, as did the Irish economy, it would have been Le Fanu who would have penned Carter's references, recommending him for a post in India with the Madras Railway Company, which, by the way, had only laid down its first line of track 2 years previously, which meant lots of opportunities for a young engineer. As an aside, Le Fanu appears to have had a very close connection with this company, as another of his young engineers, a Mr. William Robert Robinson, also left for India to join this company in the same year, and may have even accompanied Carter. We will meet Mr. Robinson again later on in this documentary. On arriving in India, Carter would have joined other young men in the bachelor's quarters of Egmore, where he would have been expected to undertake a crash course in basic Tamil and Hindi and have some understanding of the religious customs of the hundreds of men who would be working under him and with whom he would soon be living with under canvas for many months to come. He would have also been very aware that India had fundamentally changed. Before his arrival, India was governed by the East India Company, but within weeks of his arrival, India would now be governed by the British Crown, and in time Britain's monarch, Queen Victoria, will become Empress of India. But for many of the British military, civil servants, traders, planters, and engineers, both old hands and new arrivals, the Indian Mutiny, as Carter would have known it, changed everything. It changed everything because it robbed the British in much of northern India of an implicit trust in their native subjects, trust which it would take years to re-establish. And for some men that trust never would return, and many men for the remainder of their time in India went to bed with a revolver under their pillow. Today it is difficult to comprehend the savagery of the Northern Uprising and the savagery of the British response to suppress it. Sepoy soldiers and NCOs murdered their officers, and trusted Indian servants turned upon families they'd served for decades. It has been estimated that 2,500 Europeans, men, women and children were massacred, 850 in Cawnpore alone. Months later, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of Indians were dead when the British struck back, and the British Army and loyal Sikh and Southern Indian regiments began a war of retribution and revenge, which essentially led to the slaughter of anyone who had supported the uprising in the northern princely kingdoms. But not all Indians supported the northern uprising, and the majority of southern Indians, as did the Sikhs, remained loyal to the British. And it's now overlooked that many mutineers, as well as servants, risked their lives to assist British families to escape. And the reason for this violent upheaval? Well, essentially, it boiled down to both a policy, an intrusive political policy, of taking over Indian princely states, which on the death of its ruler did not have a direct male heir, on the basis this would prevent civil war, and evangelical Christian missionaries who'd been forced onto a very reluctant East India Company by the British Parliament. No longer was it possible for the company to send these gentlemen back home when they caused tension and became a nuisance. They now had the right to preach in the markets of India, and old hands among the British ruling elite understood that for both Muslims and Hindu soldiers, muscular Christianity, as it was commonly known, would be viewed as a threat to their deeply held spiritual beliefs. A threat that was compared by one writer of the period to taking a lighted taper into a gunpowder store. And like all lighted tapers, the catalyst was to turn up from the least likely source, which was to be the introduction of a highly innovative new rifle, the Enfield, which had a rifle barrel and a max-sighted range of 1,000 yards. This was to dominate the 1850s and was used not only by the British Army, but was also sold during the American Civil War to both the Confederacy and Union forces.
So we're going to stop it there because it starts getting like really, really interesting, and I'm just going to sit and watch it if I don't stop it. So I want to know, Andy, is that your gun?
Yeah, it's an original Enfield. Yeah, 1850.
No way.
Right, huh?
No way. That's incredible. Like I remember, like when I watched it the first time, I was like, "Is that his? Like, or has he borrowed that from somewhere?" That's awesome that you have that. Like, that's really good. But yeah, guys, as you can see, there's so much history that is given at the beginning of the documentary, which is so important to know, to then obviously follow with what Andy and Guy and the team go on to discover. But yeah, it's absolutely fascinating to learn all of this history as well, because I wouldn't have known it. I wouldn't have known it had you guys not have done this for it. I'm going to remove him from the screen there. But yeah, it was absolutely fascinating. I wish I could show you more, but I'm not going to. You need to go and purchase the DVD or get the download, or wait until I do another giveaway, courtesy of Greg from 8 Legs 4 Wheels on the DVD. But yeah, absolutely fantastic.
It does get a bit more cheerful than that.
Oh yeah, it does. It does. So I will
It's not all
play.
doom and gloom.
I will.
Not the history teacher, unfortunately, right? Yeah.
I will do the 5 minutes of part 2 as well, so you get to see obviously a little bit more of it. But we'll do that in a little while.
There's
Yeah,
only about,
absolutely
actually, the history
fascinating.
side of it, there's 10, 15 minutes. And then the rest of it, from that point onwards, it then goes out into
Yes.
Yeah.
India. But we'll just
That's
give you
what I
a
mean. It's
Right.
very then full on after that, but it's really important to know that history before you go along. But like you said, you know, if it wasn't for Carter, you know, the species may not have been discovered when they were. So yeah, we owe him a lot. Thank you. Yeah, and I love like the old photographs. I love old photographs anyway. Was it easy to find all of that information and those pictures and everything, or is that something that took time?
I've got a huge reference library. I can't show you here, right? But my study is lined with books, and over how many years I've been doing this? 40 years. Right, I've scoured archives and bookshops, and I've just built up a huge database of images, which means that I can basically tap into these images.
Wasn't it up until quite near the last minute when you actually discovered the image you had of Carter wasn't actually Carter?
No,
Oh,
that's
really?
intriguing. Yeah, I have got an agent who buys me historical photographs, and he suddenly contacted me and said, this was only ironically when we just I think doing the original research and preparing to go to India, and he said, I've got an amazing photo album. It's from roughly the you're looking at probably the 1860s, 1870s. And it would basically, it was actually a Madras railway engineer who'd obviously returned home. And I have a suspicion I know who the individual was. He obviously became really ill. And all the other engineers and a lot of the Madras railway workers had their photographs taken as a kind of book, a remembrance, you know, for him to take home as a gift. And he obviously then were returned. The family obviously then put it up for auction. And I paid a considerable sum of money, right? And he simply said that it is full of Madras railway engineers, right, from the period that you are searching, and Carter's amongst them, right?
No
Now,
way.
irony, the image that we thought we had of Carter, I collected when we were doing the research in India, let's say 15 years ago, and I went to an archive, and there's an archivist there. And she basically supplied me with an image of Carter from the Madras, well, the Indian National Archives, and that image turned out to me not to be the correct image. I know who the image was now. It was the previous senior engineer. Right?
No way.
Yeah. So, but this amazing book of railway engineers, right, basically opened up the documentary in many ways.
Yeah, that's incredible actually to know that. So what would have actually happened if you hadn't have realised that the photo that you had wasn't Carter?
You would have had the
you would have no idea.
You'd have had the right to contact.
I wouldn't have known. No, I wouldn't have known at all.
And I'm in contact with Carter's family, right, and the Braidwoods, and essentially the descendants. And they had no image of Carter. So I supplied them with, when we had this image, I think we acquired it 15 odd years ago, this image of what I deemed to be Carter. And then I had to go back to them and say, actually, sorry, guys, I've got a new Carter. Right? It's just turned up, right?
A new Carter.
Yeah, a new Carter, right. But that's essentially, as I said, I have
they probably had that picture on their wall for like 15 years. Great granddad Carter there. And now they've had to change it.
No, sorry,
It's like, oh dear.
We'll change, right? You know. Sorry about that.
Forget everything you know.
Yeah, right. But that's historical research for you. Yeah, you know, you have to kind
it is.
Yeah,
it must be tricky to always get it bang on, you know, from when it's from such a long time ago. But it's good that you're actually in contact with his family. I mean, that must be quite, you know, mind blowing for them, maybe, and as well as yourself.
I did a lecture, and it obviously went on the internet, and mentions of HRP Carter. And then he's dead now, unfortunately, right? The guy I originally was in contact with, I'm now in contact with his son. And he basically approached me and said, this is what I believe to be one of my ancestors. And he then had a number of interesting things, like various certificates that Madras Railway presented to Carter, but they didn't have an image of him. And to my surprise as well, there was no image of his wife. The image of Carter's wife, again, is in this album, which actually, a few seconds, it may be just to hand.
He's going to get it. He's going to get it, guys. Exclusive.
This is it.
Like, he knew exactly where it was as well.
Yeah, it's on my shelf, right? And right. So you're looking at an album. It would have been. This is obviously a gift. In other words, right? A railway engineer having to return back to the UK, and that was really, really common. People don't realise that a lot of these guys, after 4 or 5 years, their health was destroyed. And malaria was the big basically killer, or blackwater fever, and then in turn, right, your health was destroyed, and you returned back to the UK. And I suspect this was a gift because it's literally full of images. That's Robertson, right? You can see here. Funny enough, Carter straight away, right? Robertson again, right? Okay, you can see it again. All the images of all the engineers in turn.
That's
right, so it would have been a gift. Right, and yeah, right, as you can see.
Yep.
Right, so yeah, so this is fallen into my hands, and in the end, I mean, my archive collection, when I pop my clogs, right, goes to the British Museum, right, national collection. So so essentially, that book will eventually end up in the hands of basically the archive of the British Museum of Natural History.
Oh, really? So, what, you're going to give it to them, or?
It's in my will. A lot of my stuff is archived. I've built up a huge database of research rights. Will basically go to them.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that's really good of you to do that as well, because you know that's going to be so useful for them to have it, you know, and obviously then hopefully, fingers crossed, all of the research and everything just carries on from where you left it off, you know. But we don't want you to pass away, obviously.
No, but
we have to stick around.
There's more documentaries to make, yeah. I
Good.
bore you to tears for at least another 20 years, right?
Yes, good.
You can't get rid of good old-fashioned teacher.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Absolutely. Right, so let's go ahead and give away the second prize that has also been donated by lovetarantulas.com for these two awesome guys, and that is, let me just get a picture up for you guys. Now this is exclusive as well. I've got the picture somewhere. Where are you? There it is. It is the lovetarantulas.com light blue t-shirt, which is an exclusive one. Guy, what sizes did you say you got it in?
I've got all sizes apart from small.
There you go. So you can't have a small. So if you are a small and you win and it's big, it's nice as a bedtime t-shirt. So I think it's only apt that we do the hashtag. Let's find, how do I get this back up? Share screen. We're going to go with, if it's coming up, no, it's not. There you go. lovetarantulas.com. Hashtag lovetarantulas.com. So, guys, if you get that going in the chat, and that would be your chance to win one of these amazing t-shirts. Which, yeah. Yay, another t-shirt, says Greg. Yep. We love t-shirts. We do love t-shirts.
Again, the t-shirts are only available to the Kickstarter supporters.
Yeah.
They don't actually sell t-shirts.
No, so this is dead exclusive. I do have one because I did support the Kickstarter, always would. But yeah, I love it. Wear it with pride. There we go. They're coming in now. Takes a little while. I think there's a little bit of a backlog because the comments are coming up on my phone a lot quicker than they are on here. Oh, it looks like Mitch has just got home. Just got home, have to go now. Awesome viewing, Amy. Ah, thank you. Made the last 70 minutes for my drive home all the more enjoyable. Watch the rest when I can. Special thanks to Andrew and Guy. Oh, thank you so much, Mitch. And I'm so glad we were able to give you company on your drive home. I'm glad you're home anyway, you know.
Yeah.
You've had a stressful time by the looks of it. But yeah, you're home. Question related to the t-shirt. Why Marilyn Monroe as your logo, I would imagine. Come on, who wants to answer
You
that?
have to answer that one, Andy.
Yes, it's true, right? Why Marilyn Monroe? It was the whole idea of because you don't forget we used to be Fitzgerald Publishing for God knows. I mean, Fitzgerald Publishing's origins go back to the 1890s, believe it or not, right? And so when I came in as a partner with Tim Fitzgerald, at some point Fitzgerald basically ceased to be and we experimented with as a production company. Fitzgerald made some very early documentaries, and then basically wanted to completely reboot it with a modern name. And Love tarantulas. I just thought the classic iconic image of Marilyn Monroe with a tarantula tattoo sort of thing would be perfect. So I presented this idea to Guy, and he took it away.
I think because Andy's also done a bit of screenwriting as well and been involved in Hollywood a little bit in films and proper feature films. So I think that's connected to it as well. So combining the whole documentary things and film making, basically.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's so cool. See, I have a snake. I know this is a snake and it's not a tarantula, but I have a snake that actually within its patterns has what looks like the face of Marilyn Monroe. Wow. If I can quickly find it, I will show you. It's just creeped me out. I put a post up of the snake and its patterns, and I said, you know, what can anybody see in the patterns? And somebody came back with Marilyn Monroe, and I was like, that's crazy. How did you even notice that? So I don't know how well you're going to see it.
Wow.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
That's mental. It's mental that somebody even picked that out and was able to see that, and now I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
On the snake, yeah.
A person.
But it's Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do a different design for you. Well, a slightly variation on the because if you look at the original Love Tarantula's logo, it's just the tarantula tattoo with a heart on the abdomen.
Oh right.
So the metallic, these Poecilotheria documentaries ones, we'll put Metallica on the tattoo. And I think for the Therafosa one, we're just not going to have a tattoo. She's just going to have a rash.
Yeah, it's like on a chest track.
You need to make her like have a
scratching her arm like this.
Yeah.
Like an in pain face.
Yeah. Exactly. Big brown marigolds on her hand.
Tissues in the nose, like the whole.
It may be a brown t-shirt as well.
Right, come on, guys. At the moment, StreamYard's telling me there's only been 2 entries, so and there's more than 2 people here. So come on, it's really easy. #lovetarantulas.com in the comments, and that's all you need to do to be in with a chance of winning this amazing t-shirt. Yeah, I'm not going to leave it too long.
Maybe they all wear size small.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, Gar. Yeah, they just want a size small.
Just pretending they all wear size small.
I just want to make sure that it's not StreamYard glitching, but I don't think it is, because I can only see 2 that have commented at the moment with it. Anybody else?
2's enough.
Because if not, you know, these 2 people, they're in for a good chance.
Yeah, that's a good odds.
To be honest,
coincidentally, both comments are from Facebook as well.
There's only 2, and I've got enough t-shirts I can give away 2.
You can give away 2.
Yeah, you can't be in a competition with one other person then lose, can you?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
That's very true.
Well, if that's the case, I might have to put a hashtag down there. Three's okay, right? You're like, just one extra.
In a moment, darling. Okay. Well, it's still only saying 2. I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna draw it. I thought I was in my chat stuck with not seeing any entries. Oh no. Yeah, no, there's only 2. I don't know why. Can you see my
Both from
entry?
Facebook. That's why we're not seeing them on the YouTube.
Is that why? Because it's on
Yeah,
Facebook.
I just checked the comments now, and I was just like, oh, they're both Facebook comments.
Oh, but I did see one on here, but then yeah, no, it's Facebook. So inverts at heart. Yeah, I can't see any either, but I've done it. So no, I mean, if you think you've entered, then do it again. Do it again, just in case.
Do it again, just in case, because I can't see any comments here at the moment.
No. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? That it's not coming.
Are the
up.
entries going up? Because a few people have said they've done it now.
No, they're not going up. No.
Oh, no.
Come on, StreamYard. What are you?
Technology today, eh?
I know, it's terrible today. We can't live with it. We can't live without it.
It's so true, though.
It really is, yeah. No, it's still only saying 2.
Maybe we'll maybe refresh it. Try doing it again. Set it
Yeah.
up again, or
I wonder if it will refresh. Ah, look, I have to set it up again. Hang on 1 second. Let's see if we can sort this out. No, it's still only saying 2.
ah,
Weird. Weird. Is YouTube not picking it up as a link and deleting the comments? No, it wouldn't be because I'm streaming through StreamYard, so it's not technically YouTube, although it is YouTube, but it's a third-party platform and it's their giveaway tool. So wherever the comments are, it should already, generate them. It should pick them up. I did it before. The only one showing in this chat. See, quite a few people are saying they've done it.
everyone zip over to Facebook, quick! Because those ones don't seem to be working at the moment.
Yeah, it's like StreamYard's going, oh yeah, we just have Facebook today.
You did YouTube for the last one. It's Facebook this time.
That's really strange. That it's
We can see the
that.
chat, Shannon, but I don't think the hashtags are working at the moment.
Yeah,
Typical.
Manti, I can see you. So yeah, I can see you commenting, but if you've commented, hashtag love tarantulas.com, it's not coming up unless YouTube's seeing it as spam.
Possibly.
Yeah,
They might be like shadow banning the comments.
Yeah.
You should restart it with just love tarantulas and take out the .com.
Yeah. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm going to do, guys. So we're gonna actually completely change this. I'm sorry to those that have already
You're
entered.
going to get 1 entry now.
We need to give everybody a chance. So we're just going to go with love tarantulas and not the .com. Right.
There we go.
Oh, look, it says 2 already, but so there you go, guys. Bye HD arachnids. Thank you so much for joining us.
There we go. I can see them now. Yeah, YouTube is shadow banning the
must
.com.
have been the .com. It must have been the .com. Good thinking, guy. There's me oblivious.
That's why it's the tech of lovetrenches.com.
Only because I'm the youngest out of a very old team.
There you go. They're coming in now. Yeah. So
Lovely.
we need
Good
to
luck,
remember
everyone.
that, Jeremy. Let's make sure
Yeah,
that there's
no dots.
no dots.
I love how they shadow ban a .com, but like you see like the sex bot chats that sometimes come up on stream, isn't it? It's like they don't shadow ban those. We have to manually do those.
Yeah, they don't actually get this proper spam, do they?
No.
Yeah, we've got lots more coming in now. So you got 10 t-shirts now, Guy.
Apologies to the 2 who did it on YouTube, Facebook. So just try maybe popping them on again.
Yeah,
it might have taken you out. So
Facebook was being nice. It was YouTube that wasn't. I thought that it was
Typical
only
YouTube.
post and admin can post links. Yeah, it's only me and Jerimie that can post links into the chat. So we can post an active link into the chat, which you can click on, which will take you to wherever the link is for. Right, 10. Come on. We got a new person, Nessa Smith Rundle. Yep, you have entered. Fabulous. Right, we're just going to give you another few seconds. So quick, get your entries in, because I'm going to run it. Woohoo! That's 12. Come on.
Just pop the link for the website if anyone wants to check it out. Not just the
Yes.
Pokies, but all the other documentaries prior and books as well. So
Yeah,
click the link
because
that I posted in the comments if you guys are interested in that.
they are all absolutely fantastic. My favourite's got to be your brachypelma one, but that's because I'm a massive fan of brachypelma.
Yeah.
So yeah.
My favourite New Worlds too, the Brackies.
Yeah. I've got them all. I've got every species.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a
Some
great
of them-
documentary to make as well, the brachypelma. Right, so,
I bet it was. I bet it was a
We've
lot
been
of
to Mexico
fun.
a number of times. I love Mexico.
Right, I am going to draw this then. There are 13 entries.
Good luck, everyone.
Any more? Good luck, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Who's it going to be? It is A-Legs Full.
Hey!
Woohoo! See, that's because I wished you good luck earlier,
Congratulations,
Greg. Congratulations, yeah. So, Greg, if you want to contact Guy or go through me or whatever,
Yeah, you can message me.
yeah, give him your info, and then
I think I've got his address anyway. But just if he just sends it again, just in case.
just in case. But yes, congratulations.
Tell us what size he wants.
Yes.
Hopefully
Right.
not a small.
Yeah.
We reiterate, not a small.
Not a small. There are no smalls. Yes, you did join at the right time, Nessa, but don't worry, there's still some more to give away. So I think this might be a good opportunity to play 5 minutes of the part 2 of the documentary. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go for it.
Shall we
Sounds
go
good.
for it? Right, let me get rid of that before I fill all of the seats up with my files. Stop screen. There you go. Come on. Right. So this is part 2. If it's going to play it. There you go. And I'm going to pop to the restroom whilst this is on.
This is a classic example of illegal firewood collecting. The local Adivasi tribe was allowed to collect firewood as long as it's dead, because this is a forest reserve. But what they do is break off the branches. You can see here, actually this tree in this case has been macheted down and it's now lying there. The leaves are for goats. There's tons of goat pellets all over this site. So goats are being brought up here to feed. They'll eat the lower leaves. In a couple of months' time we come back and of course it's dead.
so you can now take it away. And we've found numerous examples of this across the forest floor. We've now checked over, I've lost count of the amount of trees, probably over 1,000. We've been working this site all day, and deeply disturbingly, I have not come across one tiny piece of silk. Now I'm expecting to find juveniles. Juveniles reveal where the big ones are, but nothing. There's not a sausage. It's really, really, really scary. Now it could be this illegal firewood collecting has meant that the juveniles have been destroyed over the last couple of decades. It's an ongoing process of destruction. Or too many large females have been collected for the pet trade. This is a popular site. It's a well-known site amongst tarantula collectors. So, disturbing though. I was expecting to find them up here. This is the site where I found them 20 years ago. Now, in those days, there were numerous spiders up here. Now, after a day's hard work, I can't find anything. Not even the slightest sign of silk. Anyway, we're going to push on. We're busy on the top part of the escarpment. We can't get any higher on this ridge. And we're working it all the way down. Well, fingers crossed we find something. As the sun set, we headed back to a small hotel we found down the road. Slept like logs, and the next day found us once again on that road, back to the site. This is the ritual of kitting up. Okay? Thick socks, we spray with insect deterrent. Our legs are covered in ant bites. It's not the mosquitoes that are a problem, it's the ants. And they bite you, and you get a bump that comes up. It could easily begin to ulcerate, and it hangs around for, believe it or not, for about 2 weeks. Anyway, sometimes when we're kitting up, we have our little friends here that join us in the forest. One of the problems is we like to prepare lunch, which is going to be dates and cashew nuts. Now, as you can imagine, these guys are watching with great interest to see what's going to happen next. If we reveal any nuts or dates, they will be sitting here within seconds. Right. And somewhere is the big boy. Oh, he probably is over there now. He came to check us out. He's Mr. Muscles. But we just got a couple of opportunists hanging around there, hoping right for something's going to turn up. And here we have Dr. Stuart Longhorn striving to view Google Earth on his tablet screen under an Indian sun that by midday would take few prisoners. You have no idea how useful modern satellite technology is for studying a forested hillside, hoping to find the kind of trees favoured by our spiders, which when found, inevitably involve a long hike. As Guy has pointed out to you, as you endoscope hole after hole after hole, all sorts of other interesting arthropods turn up, including the inevitable scorpion. This one was probably Swamadami.
So I'm going to pause it there because, believe it or not, that was 5 minutes. Although it's so interesting, it goes so quickly, doesn't it? So yeah, that was your 5-minute preview, guys. But so tell me a bit more about those monkeys. Did you actually feed any of them? Like, did they come down and steal anything, or
they come down and steal everything? Basically, right? You can't leave anything. Right. I really need Dr. Stuart Long here to tell you more monkey stories.
Yes,
Stuart loves. Ask him about macaques. That's the type of monkey they are. When you see Stuart in the lectures on the show, just say, "Do you like macaques, Stuart, at all?" And he'll break out in a cold sweat.
Well, a spoiler.
It was just me and Stuart off in this patch of forest, and the macaques are so used to humans, they'll just, like, occasionally would be sitting in the car and they'd just jump straight on the car, and they'd just be basically looking through the windshield, looking for food. So as soon as you open any packets of anything, they're just straight there. They've got no fear. And if you try and scare them, if you just sort of go towards them like no, and try and scare them, they come towards you, like saying, "Do you think you're hard enough?" And you're like,
"No."
They're so used to their whole life's based on surviving off humans, basically. So there was
Yeah.
a part where Stuart was off. Me and Stuart were off in a patch of forest, and I couldn't see Stuart. He was behind some bushes further up the trail. But then I heard him just shout really loud, and then I seen this pack of biscuits fly over the bushes and land on the trail in front of me. And then this huge male macaque ran up, grabbed the packet of biscuits, and hightailed it up the path, carrying this pack of biscuits like that. And then Stuart came out, and I went, "Oh, you were trying to eat your biscuits, weren't you?" As soon as you open a packet of anything, they just like
And I just launched it.
And they just headed straight for Stuart, and his initial reaction was to just toss the biscuits.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna go up to him and go, macaques. See what he says.
He's not too keen on small dogs either. So you should also ask him what it was like in Mexico when we went to Chihuahua.
Oh.
Okay, I should write all of this down, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah. So macaques and chihuahuas. That's his favorite.
Conversation starters at the lectures: chihuahuas and macaques.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, I mean, spoiler alert for episode 2, we may have some of the BTS committee with us, so. And yeah, we can ask them questions then. That'd be quite fun. But yeah, I mean, like everything you've done, from having all the ant bites and everything that you go through to get it. And I know I keep saying it, but I massively appreciate that you put these DVDs and documentaries together, and all the hard work that goes into it, all the months and years of planning and everything. It blows my mind. And you two and everybody else that is within your team, you should be so proud that you're able to deliver this, because without it, like I said, we wouldn't know this stuff. So yeah, thank you so much again. I just bow down to you. Fangirl you, just keep doing that. So we do have a couple more things to give away, so I think we should get going, because we have been on nearly, it's coming up about 20 minutes time, it will be 2 hours. And I don't want to leave it too long, because I want people to watch this stream back on my channel. And hopefully they'll be able to, see the bits of the DVD that we have been watching, and head over. And Minnie Rock's getting a bit tired, bless her. She's still awake. Right, so what else have we got to give away? So I think we should go with Greg's DVD now, his giveaway. So that will be an easy one, because we will just do, I can get this back up again. We go with.
Is Greg going to sign it?
Is he going to sign it? Are you going to sign it, Greg? I'm sure he would. So let's go with, this is for the Greg giving away a copy of the DVD, because his DVD didn't arrive. He went to the Sea Show yesterday. Andrew kindly gave him a DVD, and then today the DVD turns up, so he's got a spare one. Yeah. So let me go to, where is it? There it is. Share screen. I wish it was more simpler to do this, Where are you? There you go. So, oh no, look, I didn't put the hashtag. Damn. Not that one. Hang on, wait, guys. Let me do this again, because it's got to have the hashtag 8 legs 4 wheels. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that was my bad. 8 legs 4 wheels. There you go. Hashtag 8 legs 4 wheels. Go into the chat to get your hands on a copy of this, courtesy of Greg from 8 legs 4 wheels. Oh, and Minnie Rock has been sitting patiently creating a spider out of Play-Doh.
It's colourful like a pokey, so
yeah,
it fits.
I would give it away, but by the time you got it, it'd be a squished up, mushed up ball. So there you go, darling. Well done.
Unless I made out of fine, though, but it'd have to be
Well,
green.
yeah, then you'd have to bake it.
It'd have to be green, though.
Oh, because you've only got green left.
Green, black, white.
just while we're waiting for the hashtags to come in, I thought I'd just ask a quick question for you guys. I just thought it was quite interesting. I won't say the one that you mentioned in the documentary, but the specimen you found, and you noticed that in comparison to ones in the hobby, the one you found was quite light in comparison, and then with the really vast space between the two areas where you found the Metallicas, do you believe like they're like similar to dart frogs with the species? Like there's localities, or do you think it's just like it's because of man that is split up, and as you mentioned, they used to go for one whole strip, and now it's just two isolated colonies of similar species?
I think it's I think because the stuff we have in captivity all originates from a very small amount of spiders, so they're all very similar. So genetically, they're probably passing on that pattern and coloration, whereas obviously in the wild, they are regionally varying. So you will get pale. I remember being in Sri Lanka and seeing some Fusca, the highland and the lowland types, and the lowland one looked nothing like the stuff we call the lowland in the hobby. It's completely different. It was almost like Heteroscodra maculata white. Completely different. You can see pictures of that on giantspiders.com. But yeah, so if you imagine that in lots of, if you think how many tarantulas is out there and how many are actually collected, it's a very small amount, isn't it? Really, hopefully, in most cases. So you're getting that small genetic gene pool where all the stuff in the hobby comes from those original specimens, so they're all going to look very similar. But again, 200 kilometers down the mountainside, it's the same species, but it is going to vary a little bit, and it could have anything to do with sunlight or anything really, and how it's evolved to blend in. Because what you'll notice is with a lot of them, when you actually see one on a tree where they're actually living, the camouflage is unbelievable. And can that over generations living on the same trees, do they actually change the color themselves to help them camouflage
to adapt to that environment they're living in? Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's captive populations are from a small gene pool, so all the stuff in captivity looks very similar.
Yeah, all looks the same. Like, yeah, it would make sense what you've said totally.
That's why when you see something in the wild, you go, well, it is. We know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it's that species, but that's why it looks different.
It is quite fascinating, really. That it's almost as if, I know obviously the genealogy of them is the same, but it's almost like it's two different lineages, if you like, when the colors are different or patterns or whatever.
That came more apparent in Mexico with the Brachypelma males. When we were finding males really in the same region, the males look completely different to each other.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mental. No way. So Sidex has just joined us from the Invet Kingdom, UK. Hello. You need to get in your entry for this giveaway. I don't know if you were here when I was saying what it was, but Greg kindly donated a copy of the new DVD. So if you want your chance to win, do hashtag 8legs4wheels in the comments. And you've only got about 30 seconds to do it, and then I'm going to draw. So get those entries in.
Well, that's a really good question, Greg.
Yeah, so Greg's asked, have you discovered anything undescribed while filming that we might not know about yet? That's probably a secret, Greg. Look, they're not even going to answer it.
No,
we have a surprise, but we're not going to reveal it, right?
Quite common to actually, we do actually find quite a few new things, but I would suggest, the first time we went to Suriname was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember we probably found about 8 species, and probably 4 or 5 of them were just undescribed brown tarantulas. Not very exciting to look at, but Stuart was with us this time, and he's like, "Yeah, that could be something new. That could be something new." It is quite easy to find new stuff when you're in places where nobody searched. But because I think a lot of people, collectors over the years, probably find them as well, but don't bother with them because they're not going to make any money from a small brown spider. So there's so many times you can tickle the hole and the spider will come out and you'll see it and you go like, "Yeah, that's probably new," but because it's not very interesting, it should get left alone. Yeah, unless you're Stuart, who dreams about small brown spiders.
Everyone has their tastes.
Well, they're cool. Like I have the Crassicus species guerra, and I got that as a sling, and it is just a brown spider. Yeah,
they're not just bigger, brown. I mean, they are. There's still variation.
It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Very, very, very skittish, but it's beautiful. It's nice to almost kind of wait with each molt and think, "Oh, you're going to have a pattern. Oh, you're going to have a different color. Like, surprise me, please." But no, it's generally just brown. But
we don't collect anything either.
No.
So.
No, that you actually just prompted me to say this, because this is one thing that Andrew says in the DVD, which is take nothing but a photograph and leave nothing but footsteps. And I think that is such a good motto. Absolutely fantastic. I was like, as soon as you said it, I was like, yes. But yeah, it's so very true, isn't it? That take nothing but a photograph and leave nothing but footsteps. Yeah. It's got to be done, isn't it?
Basically, because you can't put anything into a museum now without a permit.
Yeah.
So even if it would be a case of if we found something spectacular, we still wouldn't collect it. We'd come home, we'd sort out permits, and we'd contact the people in country, which we have done, which you'll find out about the Suriname one. And they take over. Basically, we tell them where we found it, and the country, the people in the country, and the universities, they do the work, and they get the credit. And nothing gets taken out, really.
Yeah, it is definitely how it should be.
Or we maybe go back with permits and with the help of somebody who lives in the country and do the work alongside them.
Yeah. It's a good way to do it, though, I suppose. At least if you're doing it that way, you're still involved.
Well, Amy, you think about it. When I did Trenches of the USA and Mexico, 30-odd years ago? And we described, brand new brachypelma. But the research is now all taking place in Mexico. You've got a whole host of young Mexican researchers who basically picked up the ball and now running with it. And that's how it should be. And I'd love to see that all over the world.
Yeah, right. It should be.
Yeah, young Indian researchers, young Filipino researchers. It should basically be, young Tanzanian or Ugandan or whatever. It should be taking place in those countries.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's like the old saying of the next generation. They're the ones that we need to push forward and nurture, because they'll take it far when we can't do it anymore.
The Brachypelma documentary, I think we did an interview, didn't we, in the Mexican University, in the lab there, and it was literally looking at this huge archive database that these young researchers were putting together for the next, if you want, the next frontier.
Obviously they're living in the country, so they've got access to the stuff, whereas it would take us years and years to keep going back and doing the work and visiting.
Of course, So in another way, you could say that you're just getting them to do it for you, if you want to take the credit, like. Anyway, let's get on and draw this giveaway. So for anybody that hasn't entered, do it now, because I'm about to draw it. Hashtag 8 legs 4 wheels for your chance to win a copy of Andrew's new DVD. I saw Ian Tarantula had arrived in the comments, so come on, Ian. Are you going to enter? I'm just going to do it. Ian, let's see. In 3, 2, 1, go. Who's going to be? It is. It's the Spider King.
Hey,
It is
congratulations,
Jay. Well done, Jay. You have won. Jay, are you able to contact Greg in any way, or do you want to come through me? Whatever way you want to do it, and Greg will kindly get the DVD posted out to you. Again, thank you so much, Greg, for donating one of the DVDs as a giveaway prize. You
I don't know. It's just come out and he's giving it away.
No, but he's got two. And sorry, Ian, I think you was a little bit late. Don't worry, there's something else I've got to give away. So, right, let me get this off of the screen. There you go. And shall we? Let me just see and make sure I haven't got any other questions that I've written down. Oh, she made another spider. There you go,
to give away.
Brown
There
one,
you
yeah.
go. Yeah, this one has to go in the oven
Yeah.
because it's that stuff that goes really hard. Yay!
Yeah.
Well done.
You don't want to give away.
She wants to give it away.
Yeah,
Maybe next time. Right. No, I don't. I actually don't have another question for you, which is it's bad form. That is. Have you got any more questions, Jerimie?
Let me take a quick look at my notes. 1 second.
Is there anything you guys want to say? Do you want to, plug anything or?
We'd like to thank our supporters. I mean, we've in 5 years, we've just obviously finished the fourth big project. We've done the filming for the next stage, but none of this could take place if it wasn't for where you saw the list of producers now for this documentary. It's a whole host of
pretty long, isn't it?
Yeah, that have put a relatively large sum of money in to support us. And in truth, right, what we do is, we're not shooting these things in an animal room. We're not shooting them, right, in a diorama. We're actually shooting on location. It means a team of 3, possibly 4, obviously camera equipment, etc. And it's what we do is not cheap. We've got to hire a car. We stay in the pretty ropey little hotels, right? We're not talking about any expense. We're basically out there in the field filming, and for 1 month, and which is expensive. So those people that rallied round and obviously love what we're doing and are willing to support it with Dosh, then basically we're incredibly grateful, because there would be a far inferior project if it wasn't for that support.
Yeah, well, so you got to give them credit, and as you did in the DVD, because they're on the end credits. But yeah, a massive thank you to everybody that has supported, whether it be that way or through the Kickstarter. It's fantastic, really, that the community can come together and support each other the way that they do. But yeah, I totally agree.
I suppose
with
in many
you.
ways, when you think about it, Amy, they're quite academic documentaries. I mean, they're not your standard YouTube.
No.
Was the term for them? Little forums where people just talk in their bedroom or animal, whatever. I mean, we're making big academic documentaries. They're almost in many ways sort of open university type level.
Yeah.
And in truth, right? I mean, I've been, believe it or not, these are story ideas I've pitched for 30 years to National Geographic, to BBC. And usually producers would come back to me and go, "There's no interest in this. There's no market for it." And I think the nearest we got to it was about 15 years ago, Guy, with the Karen Partridge, right, put together a project to go and search for Hercules, and then suddenly at the last minute, the insurance company pulled the plug, and that was a BBC National Geographic production, and the whole thing fell through. But And I think at some point, about 5-6 years ago, as you reach a certain age, it suddenly dawned on me that if we didn't set up a production company and do it ourselves, it was just never going to take place.
Yeah.
And so that was the reason why Love came about. Right? It's all about creating projects that would, I think, are important. We're filming footage of spiders that is highly likely in 50, 60, even 100 years' time will not be here.
Yeah.
In other words, right, you're going to be looking at footage that exists because we went into the field on location and shot that footage of these spiders which in many cases will be extinct.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
the only
it.
footage that show that the spider exists in the first place.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's their loss that, you know, the BBC and that, you know, they're the ones missing out. So absolutely, they should definitely look into it, because I really think it would be amazing. I mean, I just went to my parents, like I got the download and I was sitting there showing my dad, and my dad's not, you know, like me, kind of into spiders where he would keep one, but he finds them fascinating nonetheless. And he was sitting like, yeah, I was like, Dad, can I have my phone back now? He's like, no, I'm watching this. And he was just watching it. So yeah, I think a lot of people, even people that aren't into arachnids or inverts in any way, I think they would still find it quite fascinating to watch it. I really do. People just gave it the time, like. So we do have some questions here from the chat for you. So I think this one is to you. What's the big spider on the wall behind your head?
Well, it was acquired by Ray Howard. It was a gift. He came round for dinner, and I think I'm not too sure. I think they came back from possibly Thailand, or I'm not sure where. Maybe Cambodia. I can't remember where they came back from now. And they picked it up in a marketplace. And he said, "This was for your wall." Right.
That's cool.
So that was a gift from Ray Howard. Right,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And you've got Mark asking, what's your opinion on the P. uniformis?
That's one really. It's not. I've done no research on it. Right. It's a lot of this material. There's always kind of it's thrown up on the internet, sort of thing. So I have no opinion on this issue. I'd have to admit to you. I need to have an opinion. I've got to do research. I've got to have a hard look at it. I've got to, you know, and get into it, so to speak.
There you
and
go.
Unless I've done that right, there's no. I don't give opinions.
You
People often ask me to identify spiders, and I go, look, you presented me a photograph. You asked me to, you know, identify a spider. If I have that spider next to a microscope, right, a dead specimen, and I've done research in the museum archives, and I've got, you know, my own drawings, then I'm willing to make a comment on that spider. But otherwise, no.
Well, he said he spoke to Lance Featherstone on the subject, and he pretty much said the same thing. So I'm sure that he's connecting that with that. But yeah, and looks like we have Ray here too from the British Tarantula Society. Hey Ray, how are you? And I'm sure that it says, hope it goes well, guys. That's what it should be. Awesome stuff. So just 1 second. Minnie Rock needs to ask me something. Wait 1 second. She wants to say something to everybody, I think. Go on.
Give me a drawing idea.
She wants a drawing idea. She wants to draw something.
Then it has to be a person very camouflage. Right. Yeah, it's the master of camouflage, as guys pointed out. I mean, when at night time, with the Hannibal Sumica site, the pair of us stood there and just admired this male on this tree in the light. And you can suddenly understand why they have that pattern, because it just blended in magnificently in the tree. The pair of us. I think we've actually used it as that image, right, in the documentary, talking about camouflage of these spiders.
Yeah, camouflaging is just awesome. Like when you're looking and you can't see it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, there it is. Yeah.
Well, you got any ideas?
1 second. So Andrew mentioned the Hercules is the spider I have heard mentioned that might be one, if not the largest tarantula.
Well, Socrates.
Yeah, George Beccaloni would go immediately slap me down and go, right, it must be Therophosa, because we have numerous specimens of Therophosa in museum collections all over Europe, and it's obviously a large spider. But I'd argue this, that Hercules, we have a single specimen collected, I think it was in the 1890s, and that is it. And it is a spider, when you put it on the bench, right, it's impressive, to say the least. We have a single specimen. What I like to do is take Guy with me to Nigeria.
There you go, Guy.
I know exactly where the spider was collected, right? And I've got the diaries, right, of the army officers that were basically there on a field expedition, and so I have a really good idea exactly where that spider was found. And I'd be fascinated to know, was it, for instance, right, simply a large specimen, or was it in truth just a middle range specimen, and is there bigger out there? Potentially, it's an impressive beast. I mean, it hasn't got, it's more cigar-sized legs. It hasn't got the long, leggy Therophosa, but you're looking at one hell of a body. It's a big, solid beast. So now imagine that just a few centimeters larger than the type specimen effectively is. When you start entering a record size, especially weight-wise.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a project that we will eventually do.
Yes. So, Guy's shaking his head. Yes, Guy.
Just in case my wife's watching.
Just going to say hello to Angela. Angela is here. Thank you so much, Angela, for making it. Don't worry about being late. Angela is one of my moderators. She's also in the hobby. She's got tarantulas, which she got into because of me. Oh, yeah. Minirock said hi. But yeah, it's good that you're here. Right, should we get on and do another giveaway? Because I think we've got like 2 more to do. So, and this one is for the download of the DVD. So, so what shall we do as the hashtag?
Download.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just going straight with that. Just download, yeah. Why not? Right, let's do that. Sharing.
What did he wins?
Share screen.
And then the final giveaway is a free ticket to travel to Nigeria with Andy.
Courtesy of Guy Tansley.
Yeah, there may not be a return ticket.
Yeah, one way.
I'll just a single flight out. Oh,
yeah.
That's it. You'll be left there. So hashtag download, and this will get you a download copy of the documentary, which you can then watch wherever you go, on your phone or wherever. It's pretty cool. We've got some coming in now. Come on, people. Aruna Exotics is in. Mantip Mum. Angela's got it in. Amy's Web. Chronically Vexed Spiders. That's pretty cool. I think you're new. I haven't seen your name before, so welcome and thank you for joining us.
His name escapes me. I know his name.
Do you?
Me. Yes. What is your name again, dude? I'm so sorry.
I'm terrible at remembering people's names, unless it's your name as your YouTube account.
Yeah, that's the reason why my YouTube name has my name in it, because my name is already hard to spell as it is. So like, it's there. Like, you'll remember my name at least. Hopefully.
You won't forget me. Look, come on, Jerimie, come on.
Trying to remember. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
That's all right. Don't worry.
I'm trying to think. I just remember it's super long.
You see, I'm tempted to change my name to Aruna. I thought your name was Aruna. Yeah. It's Claire though, isn't it? I didn't realise that. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a really nice name. Right, I think we've got everybody in. They all came in thick and fast then, because it was an easy one. Hashtag download. So let's run it. Good luck, everybody. In
Good
3,
luck,
2,
everyone.
1. Who's it gonna be? Drum roll, please. Ooh. It's Kevin Peed. Congratulations, Kevin. You've just won yourself Facebook winner too. A downloaded copy. So if you want to get in contact with me, what would you need, Guy? Just an email address?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Just an email address. You can message me on my Pet Rock and Roll Facebook page, and I'll pass that on to Guy, and then he will email you the link to download the documentary. Woohoo! Well done. Congratulations. And thank you so much, guys, for donating these as a giveaway. Like, honestly, it really means a lot to me and everybody watching that's in the chat too. Like I said, I've got one more giveaway to do.
I wonder what this one is. I don't know about this one.
No, you don't know about this one. This one is a secret one. You might want to get your phone out and enter in the comments. This one is my giveaway. And this is also an exclusive giveaway. And I think I'm going to do it now. Where's the hashtag? Right. So what I am giving away, and this is going to be Jerimie's Wild World, yeah. And I'm going to be giving away.
Yeah.
No, not you. So obviously, me and Jerimie are working these streams with each other. He very generously said he would come and be a co-host, which I was like, yay, fantastic. And we got these T-shirts made. But for each episode, I will be giving away one T-shirt, whatever size, it doesn't matter. And it will also
we have small.
Yeah, we're smaller. Our logos are small. And it will also feature the logo that is for the special guests on each episode. So for this one, it's lovetarantulas.com. And you will be the only person with it because we don't have it.
No, just to prove.
To get your hands on this T-shirt is hashtag Jerimie's Wild World in the comments. Yeah, look, they were coming in now. Make sure that you put the S on the end of Jerimie.
Make sure you spell Jerimie right.
Yes, spell it right as well.
I have all kinds of spellings
I've
for
spelled it right, haven't I?
Yes.
Haven't I? Spider King hasn't. No, you've not spelled it right. Jay.
See, there's the E.
Yeah. Diana, no, this is a tricky one, you see. It's an I, not an E. It's good, though. It's good.
Makes me unique.
But I do want everybody to have a fair chance, so I am going to tell you if you've got it wrong. Well, there you go. Well done, Jay. He's done it right. Boop-a-dee-doo. Yep. And I'm not going to leave this for too long this time.
Mum?
So Diana, are you just going to change it for me? Because I'm going to run it and your entry won't count because you've spelled Jerimie's name wrong. Come on. Yes. She's done it. Right, let's go. In 3, 2, 1. 2. Who's it going to be?
Mum?
Wait a second, darling.
Nice,
Matty Mum, congratulations.
Nice, congratulations.
Well done, Shannon. So you've got obviously my details. Just send me a message with your size and address and I will get it sorted for you. And Claire, Aruna Exotics, I need to sort your prize out from Mitch's stream as well. I'm sorry that I haven't done that just yet. But I will get onto it. I haven't forgotten. I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, I owe a prize as well from that stream, and I've just not been able to send it out.
Yeah, it's just, I think it was because it was December. It was all busy, and then
the weather doesn't help either.
And the weather doesn't help. No, of course it doesn't. No, but well done. So, has anybody else got anything they would like to ask Andrew and Guy whilst you have the opportunity? Because we've got them here on screen. If not, I think that we're going to wrap this stream up.
I need to say something.
What do you need to say?
Here's the idea of camouflage spider and trick.
I think it was Andrew's. Why have you done
he
it?
gets to post that. He gets to post that to him.
There you go.
Right there.
That's a camouflage spider in a tree.
One for my fridge.
Yep. It's for his fridge. He'll put it on his fridge.
Just make sure he doesn't sign it, otherwise the value.
Yeah.
She's doing it. She's got her own little signature. Might be different each time, but there you go. Now it's signed.
There you are.
The original
Right.
There
drawing.
you are.
Right, cheers.
He said thank you. We'll get it sent to him. You getting it, Andy?
Right.
I'll give it to you at the lectures.
Yeah.
She can
right.
give it to you. She'll be there as well.
She'll be there, will she? Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
she'll be there. Yeah.
Mum, I want to say something.
Right.
Are you wrapping them up now?
Ian
Yes,
saying,
I
when
am,
are you
yeah.
guys planning to go to Scotia and find the
Maybe.
Balfouri?
Right, good. 'cause I'm
I would love to. That is a bucket list project, I'd have to admit you, right? But we know where we're going for the next 2 years. So after that, it's pretty much up to grabs. We've got other things like Cambodia, we've done research on, right? And we found some really beautiful, beautiful spiders in Cambodia. That,
Really?
blue jobs, but really attractive blue, right? So very similar to Lividum. Yeah, there's a whole series of projects planned, right? There's no
It's so
shortage of projects.
exciting.
Only
No
time.
shortage. I think it would, to go to Socotra Island though, it's quite difficult, isn't it? It's not an easy, like they don't, do they not allow tourists there? If I remember from what I read.
It's a fundamentalist area, so you're basically pushing your luck, right? But as I said, there's dangerous places all over the world. Unfortunately, right, lots of tarantulas like to secret themselves in dangerous places all over the world. So if you want to film them, you have to go to dangerous places all over the world,
Yes.
right? But that's how it goes, unfortunately.
But
Or
if anybody
you
can do it, you guys can do it. Absolutely, 100%. I'm sure you could. Like they've probably already got it in the pipeline. They're just keeping it a secret.
we must admit we do tend to, as you're aware, you'd get to hear what we've done when we get back.
Yeah.
Right. That makes life for us a lot easier. Right.
Well, it's exciting stuff. And yeah, if anybody wants to get their hands on this, Jerimie, can you just pop the link in the comments for me? It's www.lovetarantulas.com. Just head over. You can have a look. This DVD, you can get it on download, or the DVD, and it's only the DVD. Did you say that's got the?
Yeah, for the time being, right. The second, the Hand of Venezuela, right, documentary, right, is for the time being only on the DVD box set, collector's box set, and then probably around about, I presume, June, July, we'll feed in that onto the download site.
Awesome stuff. And obviously there's not just this DVD, there's all of the other ones as well, and they're all fantastic and worth having a copy of all of them. I do have a copy of all of them, but they're in stashed upstairs, otherwise I would have had them out down here. So they're the ones that I keep like, no, don't touch them, they can't be in the living room.
Yeah, the Pen and the Bias has as its extra, we put on the very first documentary that we ever made, which was about, it must be about 35 years ago now, and that was Desert Tarantulas. That was one of the very first documentaries, which was aimed at television, right, that was ever filmed. I thought it was the first documentary, but Rick West beat me to it by about 6 months.
For about 6 months?
Yeah, there was he was involved in another documentary that was screened, I think, on probably National Geographic, right? Yeah. I mean, essentially, it was one of the very first documentaries filmed entirely on location, not using dioramas. Right, it was called Desert Tarantulas, and we actually then made a documentary about the making of that documentary, ironically, and the history of tarantula filmmaking.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. That's really cool. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to your next Kickstarter. Do you have a date or a rough idea of when that will be coming out?
Me and Guy will be discussing it next couple of weeks, right?
So, yeah.
Not long, though, I don't think.
Yeah. So look out for that, guys, because you get additional. You get additional stuff if you back the Kickstarter, and obviously by backing the Kickstarter, you are supporting lovetarantulas.com in bringing these amazing documentaries to us and allowing us to learn things that we wouldn't in our general keeping of tarantulas. So yeah, amazing stuff.
Thank you.
So I think that's it, and I just want to say thank you so much for being the first people on my first episode of Petrock Meets. I hope you have enjoyed yourselves. Congratulations to everybody that won the giveaways. Don't forget to get in contact with whoever, me or Greg or Guy, and we will get it all sorted for you. And the next episode will be featuring the BTS committee. I can't wait. I've got some amazing questions to throw at them. They're like, oh no, I'm like, oh yes. So yeah, it will be absolutely fantastic. Don't forget that you've got the BTS lectures coming up on March the 4th. If you are interested, head over to the bts.co.uk, have a look, see what you want to book. You can just book for the dinners or the lectures. You can also book to stream the lectures by Zoom, I think it is. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. You should definitely come along, and Andy and Guy will be there too. Yeah. So if you can get there, do get there. It's an absolutely fantastic weekend. And that's it then. I don't have any more to say, except for thank you to everybody for watching. You've been amazing. You guys have been amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Make sure that you go and subscribe to his channel because he's fantastic. And watch out at the shows because he's also a seller and a trader now.
Trying to be.
What do you mean trying to be? You are. You are. You've got some amazing stock and your breeding projects and everything that's going on. Definitely keep an eye on Jerimie. He's going places, I tell you.
Oh, the true spiders are great, but feeding those slings every other day is just hundreds.
Love it.
Hundreds.
But you love it.
I do. I really do enjoy it.
It just takes a while, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Right. I don't have an outro for the stream, unfortunately, so I'm just going to play my intro again. So yeah, thank you, everybody. We will see you real soon. Take care,
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.